time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got co-host Bryant Falconer in the studio. How you doing today, Bryant?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Awesome, man. So anyway, this is our happy holiday episode.
Yes, sir.
We're running a little bit late. We've had some technical difficulties, and so hopefully we're getting all the bugs worked out. We had some new things that we haven't had to deal with before, but I think maybe we've solved the case.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, we won't go into the details and bore you with that. But anyway, let's get to what we're smoking this morning.
Okay, today I'm smoking a Hyman Solomon Veiled Prophet, man.
Dude, that's a good stick.
Yes, sir.
I haven't had one of those in a while.
Get it at the leaf. It's back.
Nice.
Yeah, nice, good peppery stick. Good to go with the Sumatra that you gave me this morning. Perfect stick, man. I'm good.
You can't go wrong with that.
No, sir.
That's a good stick. And
Hyman Solomon, baby.
With the Sumatra coffee, boom, lights out.
100.
That's right. So I'm smoking a Cane, Connecticut, and I got to say that this is a great Connecticut. You can see by the construction here, it burns like a stack of dimes.
Yes, sir.
It's just a nice oily wrapper, which you don't really see a lot of oily wrappers on a Connecticut. And anyway, I love this stick first thing in the morning.
Gotcha.
So anyway, let's talk about, we have a new addition to the show. We have Jamie Stevens joining the team, and she is actually writing a review every week and naming our cigar of the week.
Welcome.
Yeah. So anyway, go by our website. Look at the second link down. It says Cigar of the Week and Reviews by Jamie Stevens.
Yes, sir.
And if you already know her, you know how much she smokes cigars. She smokes a ton of different cigars, and that's why I'm so happy to have her writing reviews for us.
Yes, sir.
And then also, if you're on Instagram, you can find her under Cigar Eyes. That's EYES 717.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, we have her page up, and there's also a bio, so you can find out a little bit more about her and then her reviews. And I thought her review was money.
Heck yeah.
It was spot on, dude.
Spot on.
So the cigar of the week is the Oliva Master Blend 3.
Yes, sir.
You've had one of those?
Most definitely.
Dude, that's a good stick. And they're hard to find.
Oh, most definitely. And she picked the perfect one for her first.
Yeah, in fact, I think Jay at the Leaf, he's got a Master Blend 3 in his humidor, personal.
Yeah,
and he
holding
was
on
like,
to it.
now after I read that review, I want to go smoke it. So anyway, guys, let's talk about McAuliffe for a minute. They're our sponsors, and we're just so blessed to have them because, one, they make great cigars.
Yes.
I've been a fan long before they became one of our sponsors, and so we just want to say thank you to them. They do a great job from the top all the way down. They have a price line of 4 to 42 and a profile, I mean, that will match any palate.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they've got the Sumatra, they've got the Modafina, they've got the Maduro.
Medallia.
Oh, now that's, yeah, that one speaks to me, especially in that Corona Extra 6x46. I know Dan Thompson really likes the Toro, but I think that once he grows up to be an adult, he will appreciate the Corona
I'm
Extra.
laughing at that one.
So anyway, we got a little battle going by. You know what? I think he tries to sway people to the Toro, and I sway people to the Corona Extra.
Sir. Yes, sir.
But anyway, 4 to 42, a cigar for every palate.
Most definitely.
And, you know, when I talked to Al a couple of weeks ago, he made a very good point. Whether you're smoking the Reserva or the Torsador, you're smoking good tobacco.
Yes, you
and
are.
You're smoking cigars that have been blended by master blenders. I mean, these guys know what they're doing.
Yes, they
do.
do.
You know what I mean?
Yes, they do.
So anyway, go by and check them out. You can see a link down below this episode for the McAuliffe Ambassador.
Oh, most definitely.
If you're not an ambassador, you got to check that out.
Yeah, it's because it's for everybody in the industry, not just in the industry, in the community.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got a new guy that just started listening to the podcast, Atomic Death Monkey, and he actually sent me a message.
Atomic Death Monkey.
Oh, most definitely, Atomic Death Monkey. And he sent me a message. He said, I want to join the McAuliffe Ambassadors, but I can't get them here in my brick and mortar. Well, I said, man, join anyway because it's the community. And I said, but also you can get them online.
You can get them online, and then also once you're an ambassador, you
Tell
can
'em.
join the
Tell 'em.
private group on Facebook that's just for the ambassadors,
And voice it.
and you can talk to everybody. I mean, you're not just talking to the community; you're talking to Dan Thompson, the president of the company,
And Alec chime in
and
too.
they will help you get McAuliffe in your local brick and mortar.
Yes, sir.
So don't miss that opportunity. Go by, check that out. And so coming up next, after we get done with our pick six,
Yes.
we've got Rob from Boveda that's going to be on for an interview. And he is, I mean, you want to know how to humidify your humidor. Humidification is his expertise.
Yes, it is.
And the thing about it is, it doesn't have to be rocket science, even though we try to make it that way.
Yeah, you over there with that AI machine.
Oh yeah, I've got robots that are checking on my stuff. But anyway, don't miss out on that. We'll do that after the break. But right now, let's talk about this week's pick six.
Go ahead.
So I'm stepping out on my comfort zone quite a bit lately, and this week I went with a 1964 natural.
What?
I know, right? The natural is something I've never tried before in that particular stick.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of Padron.
Uh-huh.
And so the natural is a very light stick. And I would say that I want to smoke that in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
But at that price point, I want to make sure that I'm able to kick back and relax. You know what I mean? I don't want to be busy working on the computer or just something that I might be doing instead of just relaxing and enjoying that stick.
Yeah, at that price point, you want to enjoy that stick. And like you
For
said,
sure.
in the morning, get you a good cup of coffee, bro, just roll it out. Yeah,
And
I got
really take it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, perfect.
So then the other stick is the Espinosa Comfortably Numb Volume 2.
That's a bad stick.
Dude, this was a new stick for me as well. And I'm a big fan of what Espinosa does. And as you know, they're usually full body, punch in the face spice, and this stick does not disappoint.
Tell the truth.
I mean, I smoked one the other night and I was having a bourbon, and I tell you what, dude, together it was a powerhouse.
Yes, sir. And then your love for who?
Oh, Big Tony? Dude, well, Big Tony is the rep for Espinosa Cigars, and we're going to have him on the show next week. So we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But
Gotcha.
Big Tony's a great guy. Yeah. And then finishing up my three, I went with the Nub Cameroon.
Cameroon. You?
I know, right?
Come on, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm all over the place. You know, I still got my go-tos, but I want to sprinkle in as many different cigars as I can.
You turning into Big Rob for real.
Hey, so here's the thing. I always say this. So many cigars, so little time.
Yes, that's our saying.
So definitely check out that Cameroon too. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I smoked the Connecticut nub not long ago. Too light for me. Too light for me.
Gotcha.
But the Cameroon, dude, on the very first puff, you get some spice. And I was like, wow.
Let you know all the way through.
Right
I'm going to
through.
love this. Yes, sir.
All right, man. So what do you got this week?
Hey, my first one was Roma Craft Aquitaine Sabertooth.
Ooh, nice stick.
Perfect stick, bro. Hit you out the park in the beginning, like you said, with that pepper. But it's a barber pole, but it's not that dark where it's trying to make the leaf into the flavors.
Yeah.
It's all about the fillers. It's all about, man, that is a bad stick, man.
So it's the Aquitaine line.
Yes, sir.
So I used to smoke a ton of Aquitaines, and I still like the Aquitaine, but I have not smoked the Sabertooth.
Try it.
All right, I'll put it on my list.
My number 2 was a Monte Cristo Open Eagle. Now,
All right,
I
I'm
know
not
you
gonna
heard
try
that first
that.
word.
I'm not gonna
I know you heard the name and you went there. But let me tell you, this is a good smooth stick. It's just like you said with the Padron. It's a morning stick. Pair that with a good cup of coffee, man. Just a time to sit back and chill and relax. It's a perfect stick for the first time.
I'm going to take your word on that one.
I understand you will. But it was woody and slight spice all the way through. Perfect, man. My number 3 was the Crown Head and the Drew Estates La Coalition.
Never had it. Never
It's
heard
a
of it.
Bad stick. No, It's got it at the leaf, man. I'm talking about this. I got an oily Connecticut broadleaf with notes of raisin. And I tasted it in the beginning. I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, what is this? What does this taste? I said, it tastes like raisin. So I didn't. I researched it. And when I saw it, I was like, yes.
Isn't it nice when you your palate is in tune with the cigar so much that you actually nail the notes?
Dude, you start walking around like Ric Flair, man.
Hey, you're like, yeah, I'm a cigar aficionado. I know what I'm doing.
Yes. So those are my 3 this week.
Nice, man. I like to see that you're venturing out.
I got to, man. Got to. Like you said, it took so many sticks, not
so
enough
little time.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, hey, we got Rob from Boveda coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. I have a special guest with us today, and you know the company. Now we have the executive sales representative for Boveda on the line, and we're really appreciative for him joining us today, taking the time to talk about his history and the company. So we welcome to the show Rob, the executive sales rep for Boveda. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Oh, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. I mean, if you've listened to any episodes, we're big fans of Boveda and everything that they do. In fact, I was just making a Christmas list a couple of weeks ago, and one of the key items that I said is a must-have is the Boveda Butler. Man, I think that is a genius product, and I would never have a humidor without it. So hats off to the products that you guys make.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks. You know, that was our first dive pretty much into technology, and boy, has that been a learning curve. You know, with we got a third-party company called Bluestream doing pretty much all the app updates, and you know, every time a phone comes out with an update. So I apologize to anyone out there who's had any issues connecting or anything like that, but they've done a really good job of working hard to make sure that everyone is having a good connection. And as soon as it worked for me, you know, I'll be honest, I had a couple of hiccups, but as soon as it started working for me, I agree with you. Being able to see what's going on in your humidor, either hour by minute or day by day, month by month, that's been super helpful because, you know, when I'm gone and I'm traveling, or even, you know, I just forget to check my humidor sometimes, I can go back and go, oh, okay, that's what it was like.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to look back over like weeks and even months to see how the humidor's been performing as well. And recently, I just got a new humidor. It's the New Air 450 count electric humidor that controls the temperature. And then I have the Oasis humidification system, so it's electric, and then I got my Butler in there, and I mean, it's just flawless, man. And the Butler is what keeps me informed of what's going on, so if something stops working, I'm protected. And it sends me a notice that, hey man, your humidor is not where it should be. So man, I love the product.
Yeah, I agree. It's been super helpful and super insightful. You know, basically having that eye on your humidor and your cigars 24/7 without you ever having to open the container.
Yeah, it's great. So let's go back a little bit on your history. How long have you been in the cigar industry, Rob?
You know, that's actually, I was with another cigar rep that I actually used to work with in Minnesota here. I worked for Tobacco Grove, which, if anyone's familiar, the owner is Jeff Haugen of Crux Cigars. And he owned a tobacco shop, and I just went in there when I was 18, enjoyed the environment, and then eventually I started working there part-time, and I was trying to grapple with the date that I started, but I think it was back in 2008, 2006, 2008-ish.
Okay.
I was pretty much right around the college age. Came back for a summer and just said, hey, you guys need part-time help? And they said, yeah, you know, great. So I kind of really cut my teeth that summer in retail tobacco, you know, picking up cigars on a daily, talking to customers, understanding what they like to smoke, what recommendations I could give them. You know, cigar culture in and of itself, it's kind of like Cheers. Everyone kind of knows your name as soon as you become a regular.
Absolutely.
So it's always fun to go back to that because that's kind of where I cut my teeth, and I really like that part of it. So I don't know, you know, 2008, you know, that's about 10 years now plus that I've been doing some sort of retail tobacco or tobacco related job.
I got you.
I took some breaks in between, but it's always been, as soon as you're a cigar smoker and you're an enthusiast, you just you stick with it pretty much for your whole life.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I was actually reflecting yesterday, thinking about that, and I was thinking how many cigar lounge patrons become cigar lounge employees. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And there's certain shops too that I feel like, quote unquote, kind of have like a dynasty for raising good tobacconists. And those shops seem to do really well with steady business that I've noticed. I see them kind of all across the nation. And it all kind of boils back to just taking care of the customer.
Oh, absolutely. So, and when you hire someone who's one of your patrons at a shop, they have that excitement and passion about the cigar industry. Otherwise, they wouldn't want to do it. And so those people want to share their knowledge. They want to share just the camaraderie that is built into the cigar community. So I was thinking about that yesterday, and I was just like, it's a very interesting market, because I don't really see that happening in too many other sectors. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely passion driven, and as soon as you kind of latch onto it, like you said, you're just kind of hooked. It's a cool industry to be a part of.
Yeah.
So I started with Boveda about, 3 years, a little over 3 years. I'm almost coming up on my 4th year here with them.
Oh, wow.
It's been a great opportunity, starting from the ground up, working customer service and claims and dealing with customer issues. And that was like a whole new endeavor to me. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the retail shop, but I didn't really understand how to use Boveda to solve my problem. And that was an eye-opener.
Yeah, and I think a lot of cigar smokers, when they start out smoking cigars, they hang out at the lounge and they smoke cigars there. But then when they kind of develop their passion a little bit further and they start buying cigars to take them home, they're missing that education on humidification, and you guys make it real easy.
Yeah, and I want to make it even easier. Hopefully, I've kind of challenged our marketing team and kind of structure. I mean, we have videos on YouTube, and we try to put some videos and FAQs and how-tos on our website. But I'd really like to make a really nice landing page for everyone to just understand troubleshooting.
Oh, that's
if
a
the
great
RH
idea.
level's too low. Oh yeah. So there's so many things that we deal with as cigar smokers that seem somewhat minor, but they can be big headaches. When you have a low RH level, or you're not getting the lifespan that you want out of the Boveda, all that kind of stuff plays into a big factor into your enjoyment, because you spend less time enjoying the cigar and more time maintaining the whole program.
Right. And for a lot of cigar smokers, as they're getting started, they don't realize the importance of the humidification. And I can say you do not want to take that for granted. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money on sticks that you're not going to enjoy later on.
I learned that very, very early on at Boveda. I actually ended up ordering some cigars online, and they came in at 62%. And the reason I know that is because we have this machine called the water activity machine, and it's like an $8,000 machine where I can snip off part of the cigar, grind it up, and throw it in there and see what the water activity is.
No way.
So yeah, that's where our foundation of our entire company is based off of. We can take any organic product and put it in there, and then figure out how much water it likes to have, and convert that into relative humidity. So at 62%, that cigar tasted really bad, harsh, kind of that back of the throat, not very flavorful kind of smoking experience. None of the flavors and profiles that you would expect. And I had to tell myself, I'm like, what's going on? And the owners of Boveda said, hey, throw it in an acrylic humidor or a Boveda humidor bag, and then just give it 4 weeks. So I waited and kind of tested it throughout, every about 5 days I would test the relative humidity, and I saw it creep up, from 62 to 64, 64 to 68, and then finally to 69% after about 4 weeks.
Wow.
And then I smoked that cigar, and I kind of had Charlie Monato's half wheel thing pulled up, because he pulls out flavors that I would never know. And I was kind of like, I want to know if I can actually taste some of these now. It's at 69. And sure as anything, I could actually taste some of those chocolatey cocoa, coffee flavors, and it was a totally different smoking experience.
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
kind of challenge.
And
I
Charlie,
always
man,
challenge people to try that.
Charlie has a crazy, insane amount of perfection when it comes to reviewing cigars. I love his reviews. We actually had him on the show last week, and he's one of my go-to guys as far as going to Half Wheel and reading interviews and reviews of cigars. So, yeah, you nailed it with going through his profile of a cigar for sure.
Yeah, it's insane how much he has on that. And, you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? We're not all at that level. So it's fun to try to challenge yourself. But then, at the end of the day, the best cigar is the one you have in your hand and you're enjoying it.
Yeah, just like the one I'm smoking right now.
Yeah, what do you got right now?
I'm actually smoking a La Galera, Connecticut, and I'm drinking some Costa Rican fresh ground coffee.
Nice. Why the Costa Rican coffee? Because I'm starting to geek out about coffee, and I kind of want to know your idea about that.
Man, well, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, my number one coffee is Sumatra. And I went down to this tobacco shop earlier today. They carry the best coffee in town. And so I always go by and pick up a bag of Sumatra at least once a week. And I went down there and they were actually low on Sumatra. So my second favorite coffee is the Costa Rican. And it's kind of a mellow coffee. It's not too bold, but it does have a nice complex flavor profile that marries up very well with cigars. And so when you're smoking a medium cigar, it really marries up well. And so, and the same thing with the Sumatra as well. I mean, it's bold as far as caffeine content, but it's a mellow medium flavor. And so that's what I prefer whenever I'm smoking cigars.
Nice. I've gotten really attached to Ethiopian style coffees because of the berry flavors that they have.
Oh, absolutely.
And then one of my favorite cigars is the Avo Domain, which also has that kind of red wine plummy flavor as well to it. And those two together to me are a great pairing.
Well, I'm going to have to check that out because that's my number one thing to pair cigars with is coffee. I do drink bourbon and scotch, but, you can't be drinking bourbon and scotch all day long. So I'm usually drinking coffee most of the day.
Good.
Let's talk about what you've learned while you're at Boveda, because you went from a tobacco shop to a company who is all about humidification. So I assume that was a pretty big learning curve because, I know shops know in general that we want to keep the cigars at 69% and 70% or 70 degrees temperature. But, was that a big learning curve going from a tobacco shop to Boveda?
Absolutely. But the one thing that I had in common is that I was talking to other tobacconists. So when they would call in and they may have questions, or when the customers even would write in, they were the same questions that, I dealt with or helped other people with at the smoke shop. The really deep part of it was understanding the simple science behind it. I'm going to say simple because I think we tend to overthink things really a lot as cigar enthusiasts.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And it gets really simple if we just think about it and not overcomplicate it. So what I learned was, how do you take a problem and remove as many of the variables as possible? So like a good variable is a wood humidor. Wood humidors aren't airtight, so there's a degree of air there, right? They all breathe moisture some way. So if I have a problem with something, that might be a variable that I need to remove. The other thing was understanding like hygrometers. Hygrometers themselves are very inaccurate devices. And when we're inside the lab, we have we call it a research center because we can't call it a lab. But when we're inside the research center, we test all hygrometers that we use. We test them against a salt-based solution. That's basically an accuracy test. So it's calibrating it, right? So Boveda has a calibration kit, and I realized, okay, that could solve a lot of my problems, because what could be the problem is the hygrometer's lying.
Right.
It's telling me the wrong number. So I always start there. Like, that's my number one. Like, if you don't calibrate your hygrometer, don't even do step 2, 3, or 4.
Right.
Because you have no idea if you're accurate. So let's get accurate. Okay, boom, we established that we're accurate.
Well, it's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that, because whenever I got my Boveda Butler, you guys send a calibrator pack with it. And so I calibrated my Butler, and when I put it in my humidor, that's when I found out that my Oasis humidifier was way off. So all this time,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the digital display thinking that I'm just dead on 70, and it was actually about 3% off. So that was a big eye opener to me. So I really appreciate that you guys send out the calibrator with the Boveda, because without it, you're just shooting in the dark.
Absolutely. Yeah. As soon as you establish that point of accuracy, then things get a lot easier. Then you can start manipulating. Are the cigars calling for the moisture? Is the humidor calling for the moisture? Those things get easier. And then the other thing that I didn't know, because again, we test everything at Boveda, so it gets tested and vetted out. We're not just telling you to do this because, it sells more Boveda packs. We test wood humidors. And I didn't realize this, like wood humidors, when you do the seasoning, the traditional seasoning where you just did the wipe down method,
Right.
that really is very, very minimal. So the wipe down method probably distributes about 2 grams of moisture into the wood.
Oh, wow.
Whereas like a regular 100 count humidor, let's say a 50 count humidor is going to take about 45 grams, and a 100 count humidor is going to take about 90 grams of moisture to be completely saturated in the wood cellular structure to be what we call seasoned. That was a huge eye opener to me, because I don't like doing anything at 1 or 2%. I like to do everything at 100% if I can, and
Right.
that's very rare that we can. But if I looked at it, I was like, wow, I was really selling myself short. So my Boveda packs were working twice as hard to humidify my cigars and my humidor at the same time. So no wonder why I wasn't getting 3 months out of my Boveda packs, because I
gotcha.
just didn't have the right formula. I didn't do it right.
Right. Well, and I remember whenever I bought my first nice humidor, I think that a lot of cigar smokers, if they're like me, they're very impatient, and we wipe it down and we want to be using that humidor within 6 hours. And that's just not possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, that 2-week time period, I mean, we tested everything from 95% relative humidity all the way down to, our 60% range. And we realized that 84% was the ideal one, because one, it did it slow enough, but efficiently enough, without causing damage, any warping, cracking, mold growth, anything like that. So that was just a huge eye opener to me. And as soon as I started to adopt this new way of thinking of like, okay, am I doing this properly? I really started to be able to navigate much better through my whole humidor storage, my advanced aging, all that stuff was just a lot easier. Now I have a position, obviously because I have Boveda packs at my fingertips, but I double everything. My 100 count humidors have 2 320s in them. My 50 count humidors have 1 320 in them, which is almost double the amount of 60 grammers that you need. So I just find that to be easier, because I don't like to check my humidors often or maintenance them. So I get anywhere from 6 to 9 months out of my Boveda packs.
Oh, nice.
Now that I've got everything set up properly. On average, if you just do the minimum recommended by us, you go ahead and get about 3 months out of it. But if you really set it up and season your humidors with Boveda's 84s, and you go ahead and, double it, you could get 6 to 9 months. And I didn't look at it that way as a consumer, because to me, that was an investment of, let's say 20, 25, maybe $40. And that was, that's essentially two to 4 sticks that I can't smoke now, because
Right.
I've got it tied up in Boveda.
Right.
So,
But also, I mean, you look at the convenience that Boveda has with seasoning your humidor that way. I mean, you're not having to basically play the mad scientist chemist, because I know I went that route when I first got started. And I mean, you really don't have any idea what you're doing with those hydroglycols. I believe that's what it's called. And you're putting them in the sponge, you're putting them in the little micro balls. And so, I mean, you're really just, I never did figure that out. So I immediately switched over to Boveda, and it was just no work. You know what I mean? You season the humidor with distilled water, and then you use the Boveda packs. And I mean, to me, that just made it so easy.
yeah. Using Boveda, that's the mission, is to make that part easy for you. Less time on the storage and more time on enjoying your passion. That's the key.
Yeah, and you guys are doing a great job there. And also, I read an article not long ago, and I really hadn't noticed, but you guys also supply Boveda packs for like music instruments and things like that that need to maintain a certain relativity of humidity. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was actually, I just gave one of my good friends, Matt, he plays guitar, and I gave him some Boveda packs, and he just came back to me about a month later and goes, holy cow, I can totally tell the difference the way this guitar sounds.
No way.
And I don't have a musical ear like that, so I can't tell, but I do one of our biggest shows is NAMM. It's coming up here in January, and musicians do come up to me and say that same thing. And I kind of always thought it was like, okay, well, these guys are musicians. They know what they're talking about. But even my buddy who just plays guitar on a regular basis, he can tell when that guitar is too sharp or too flat. And Boveda just supplies that, what we call kind of basically the same thing. And no matter what Boveda is in, it's creating this mono layer of moisture so that whatever you're storing doesn't give up its own moisture. That's the key. You want guitars, cigars, anything to hold a certain amount of moisture so that they don't start to decay, or for guitars, they don't sound and crack bad. So
yeah, I didn't even know instruments needed to be humidified. So that shows what I know. I have zero music talent whatsoever.
I know. Me too, man. I try hard to learn how to play guitar, but it is a tough skill.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I have two younger brothers, and both of them play guitar, and neither one of them had lessons. And I pick up a guitar, and it sounds like someone's throwing rocks. So
exactly.
Hey, well, I also wanted to announce to you guys listening that Boveda has actually donated some things to Cigar Talk for our month of December giveaways, and we just want to say thank you for that. Super kindness, and we are just super appreciative of you guys contributing so that we can have a great December. And this is our anniversary month of Cigar Talk. We actually been on podcasting now for 1 year, and so we just want to say thank you for the support on that, Rob.
Hey, you're welcome. We appreciate it. You know, everyone out there deserves an opportunity to win a couple of fun things, and we hope, you know, those that win it enjoy it, and, you know, keep that passion of enjoying cigars and worrying less about the maintenance of your cigars is what we are trying to achieve every day at Boveda.
Absolutely. Hey, well, tell us, like you said, you had some educational videos as far as humidification. Where can our listeners find your videos and learn how to do the humidification process?
You know, I would say the best spot is to go over to YouTube, type in Boveda Inc. or Boveda, and you should pull up our page. But I like to search our page by, you know, video playlist. And I got a playlist in there that is Tobacco 101 with about 9 different videos in it, from how to calibrate a hygrometer to how to season to what RH level is right for me and how many should I use for my size humidor. We're reshooting some of those videos now because, you know, surprisingly, I shot those early on in my career with Boveda, and they already look pretty dated. You know, I don't have the big beard that I have now, and a few things change with our equipment. And so bear with us as we go ahead and update those new videos. But for the most part, it's the nuts and bolts of Boveda and how to use it. And we just definitely want people to have an easy time of making sure that their passion is kept fresh, and that's cigars. Make sure everything's humidified.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening to this episode, if you go down below on the website, we'll have a link to their YouTube channel so you guys can navigate it easily and find what you need to. And then also tell them where they can find you on Instagram, because I love the reviews that you do, and I'd love for people to swing on over to Instagram and check out your account as well.
Yeah, Instagram is Boveda Inc., or at Boveda Inc., I should say. That's our predominantly all the tobacco stuff that we have. And I like to do a couple of different things with that channel. I like to do some unboxings of different subscriptions. I like to just, if we get I just got some La Coalition by Crown Head in, I'm probably going to smoke that on there and just kind of give my 2 cents on it. I just think it's a great platform to interact with people that you can't always interact with. And that's the beauty of Instagram and the IGTV that they offer out there now.
Hey, now let me ask you this. Have you signed up and started anything on TikTok?
I have not. I don't actually know too much about that platform. Is it a video platform similar to
It's a lot like
Instagram TV?
It's a lot like Instagram, but it's all video. There's no still pictures. And the thing about it is it's only 1 minute. So if you're going to do something, it has to be a 1 minute video. And so we just started on it not long ago. We're very new in that whole platform, and but it's very interesting, and there's a lot of younger people, and so I really wasn't going to sign on to it at all, but I did a search. I logged in and did a search on cigars, and I found that there was actually quite a bit of cigar users on there. So we decided that we would go on that platform just so that we could announce different shows and stuff, and we've had some good feedback, but it's definitely a completely different platform than what you're used to if you haven't been on it.
Nice. I'll have to check that out, because meeting people where they're at is kind of our goal at Boveda, and just trying to understand, where can we easily give them the information that they want to enjoy their passion, smoking cigars, understanding what's going on out in the world. That's the other reason why we have the podcast that we have, because we have a unique opportunity. We're kind of like Switzerland. We have a lot of manufacturers that work with us, and they have a really unique story to be told, and not a ton of people in the industry always know it.
Right.
I remember reading Oscar Valadera's his whole story in Cigar Journal, and I was just blown away that this guy started from being a driver to starting his own cigar brand. I was just blown away by the whole story. That's something that this industry definitely needs to kind of hopefully get that message out more to the people who are passionate about it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love about the whole cigar community is when you look back at the history of a lot of the key players, they have some very humble beginnings for sure. All right, well, Rob, hey, man, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and give us some really good educational material, and I look forward to going to your website or your YouTube channel and actually learning some extra stuff myself. I will have to say right up front that I've always been that impatient person that wants to just do it and go, but I've learned a lot over the years about humidification and how important it is, so I love the fact that you guys are educating people.
Hey, you're welcome. I appreciate you having me on the show. I hope that everyone can get a little bit of insight from the basics, what I call the simple science of Boveda, and I just hope it helps them, maintain their cigars a whole lot easier without all the fuss and all the worry. And, that's, again, like I said, Boveda's mission to just make things easier for us all so that we can enjoy the passion that we love, and that's smoking cigars and hanging out.
Absolutely. And so you guys are basically, to me, a staple of the industry. So whether you're a brand new cigar smoker, a cigar enthusiast, or a cigar aficionado, make sure you go by and check out Boveda, because they just make cigar smoking easy. Forget about all the technical stuff and just enjoy your cigars. So on that, Rob, we appreciate you taking the time, and we'll be talking to you soon. And if you ever need anything from us, feel free to reach out. We'll be here for you at any time, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Rob.
All right, man. Take care. Have a great week. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that interview with Rob from Boveda. We appreciate him taking the time to come on the show. We also want to say thank you. He donated a humidor and those butlers that we gave away.
Yes.
And the humidor, we have a special contest going on right now. Go by our Instagram account, which is Cigar Talk Radio, and you find the post with the acrylic humidor. Read the instructions. Enter to win. That's how easy it is.
Gotta follow the instructions to the T, though.
Right. It's so funny that so many people don't read the instructions all the way through. But anyway, we're going to be giving away that humidor on December the 30th, which is a week from today.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, let's talk about the holidays, man. What do you got going on this week?
Man, I'm just going to rest. Like you said, I went through the last 2 weeks. I was sick, so it's going to give me an opportunity to rest my body. But this morning, I got an opportunity to talk to my daughter over there in Kuwait.
Oh, so nice, man.
That made my season, man.
So are they ahead of us or behind us?
9 hours ahead.
Isn't that crazy?
Almost definitely.
Dude, my daughter's in Australia, and she's 13 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole day.
It's a whole day. And what really got me talking to her today, they were headed to the range, and they were on the bus, and they were heading in the sand. Next thing you know, she looked up. They was in the middle of a lake, man.
In the desert?
Yeah. She video called me, and I'm looking. She said, look. I'm like, how did y'all get in the water? She said, I don't know. I said, well, you know what you do? Turn that M16 upside down and use it as an oar, baby.
Right. That's crazy, man. Because when you think of the desert, you just think of heat.
Just heat and sand.
And no water.
There's no water, but they got water there.
That's crazy. So me and my wife, Well, my son's going, but he's not riding with us. We're going up to Cleburne, which is just part of DFW area. And so we'll be doing the holidays with the family up there. And then on the 26th, I'm actually going over to probably Pop's Cigar.
Okay.
It's actually Pop's Safari and Cigar because he was a hunter and he also has a gun shop.
Yeah, that's two parents.
And they're side by side.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to try to meet Al Roman over there.
Okay.
He's from the Good Cigar.
Yeah.
And so if you guys haven't checked out the Good Cigar,
Again, check
you
them
got to
out.
go check them out.
And
then-
Cigar Pulpit.
And the Cigar Pulpit.
Yes, sir.
Those are my two favorite cigar shows. So
too.
definitely go check them out. And anyway, they do a lot of good content. They do a lot of different cigar stuff. In fact, the Good Cigar just did a whole show interviewing a manufacturer of tequila, which is real high end. And so I'm excited to actually try it.
Okay.
And so
I like that.
Yeah, because I'm not a real big tequila
Nah,
guy, but he says this stuff is so smooth. It's not like drinking Jose Cuervo.
You know that stuff you just throw down.
Yeah.
You want to sip this tequila.
I don't do tequila anymore because I used to drink the crap. So anyway, that's what we're doing for the holidays. If you're in the DFW area on Thursday of this week, hit me up, man. We're going to be going over to Pop's Safari and Cigar.
Yes, sir.
And so if you're up there, let me know, man. We'll hang out and smoke some cigars. Anyway, it's time for this week's giveaway.
Yes, sir.
And so we're going to change the format just a little bit. So here's the way it's going to work. What I've come to find out is when people register on your website, sometimes they use like an email address that they don't use because they're afraid they're going to get tons of spam. So then when I send you an email to let you know you win, I never hear back. So what we're going to do is we're going to name the winner each week, and then you have 6 days to contact me with your mailing address and say, hey, I heard we won or I won, whatever. And then here's my mailing address.
Yes.
So basically you have until 1800, which is 6 p.m. Central Texas time, the following Sunday
Yes, sir.
after the show.
Yes, sir.
So you have the whole week. So
To get
don't
it
wait.
done.
Don't wait till 1801.
Too late.
I'm just messing with you. If you hit me up at 1801, I'm still going to let you win. But you know what I'm saying. So go ahead and tell us what we're giving away and who the winner is this week.
This week's giveaway is a Hiram Solomon 4-pack.
Nice.
And the winner this week is Wayne Bleddy.
Bleddy.
Yes, sir.
How you spell that?
Bledy. That's Boy Lincoln Edward David Young.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So, Mr. Bleddy, please pay attention. You got 6 days from today till Sunday.
The time is ticking.
Yes, sir. 1800 Sunday to give us your information so we can get this out to you. And when you win, please send us a photo of you receiving your stuff.
Yeah. When you get what we send you, send
Yes.
us a photo so we can.
Yes.
You know what we'll do? Let's start a page on our website of all the winners.
Got you.
What do you think about that?
100%.
That way we post pictures of you holding your cigars, your humidor,
Yes, sir.
the $1 million.
Yes. I wish. Because we already have pictures from Matthew Ryan when he got his Rocky Patel humidor. That he
Right,
won.
right.
So he'll be the first one in there. So please, when you receive your prize, send us an email with the picture of you receiving your prize so we can put it into that site.
Love that idea.
Most definitely.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's see. Next week, we've got coming up Big Tony.
Oh, yes.
Big Tony is like larger than life. And I'm not talking about his size. I'm just talking about how he takes care of the community.
Yes.
I mean, he's an integral part of the Texas, and actually he's a rep for 4 states. He goes from Dallas all the way to El Paso, and that's just in Texas.
That's a state in itself.
yeah,
Man.
that's like a 9-hour drive.
True, tell the truth.
And then he
man.
has 3 other states. And I bet that he can get to all 3 of those states quicker than he can get to El Paso.
El Paso, I tell you the truth.
But anyway, he's going to come on the show Saturday and be here in the studio. We'll probably smoke a lot of cigars, but he's going to give you the real breakdown of what it's like to be a cigar rep.
Tell the truth.
And the thing about it is, I know that when you're sitting around the cigar shop, you see these reps come in from time to time and you're like, I Wonder what it's like to do that job.
Hey,
Well, you're fixing to find out.
most definitely.
I mean,
Most
he's
definitely.
going to tell us exactly what it's like to be a cigar rep. And I do know this. He's on the road 3 weeks out of the month.
It's a passion, man.
Yeah.
It's a passion. You got to love your job and you got to love what you're doing.
And the people.
Oh, yes.
It's all about the people.
Like Tyson said, everybody got a plan till you get bust in the mouth. Everybody wants to be a rep until you actually have to do it. So,
yeah,
man,
it's like, everybody got plans. No, just kidding, Mike.
leave
Just
him
kidding,
alone.
Mike. Just
Leave him
kidding,
alone.
Mike. Dude, have you seen how good a shape that dude stays in?
Oh, man, he has to.
Dude.
You know, it's still people probably, I can take you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Step up.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Never will be me.
Yeah.
Never will be.
So let's talk about one more thing before we go.
Go ahead.
I saw the funniest meme I have ever seen last night.
Now, that's kind of hard.
No, it is. So you know it's side by side 2 pictures of Tiger Woods.
Okay.
One of them, he's young and thriving and he looks fantastic, and the other one is like when he got arrested or something.
That night.
Yeah, that night. And let me tell you this. You know what the meme said?
What's that?
The picture where he's young and thriving says the beginning of the Cowboy season.
Oh.
And then the picture other one was whatever at the end of the season.
Yes. I'm 100% with that.
Hey, now you know I'm a Cowboy
Yes,
fan,
sir.
but the dude who posted that, I seen him a picture and I said, dude, I'm a Cowboy fan, and that's the funniest meme I've seen ever. So for all you Cowboy fans out there,
I feel
season's
for you.
over. Stick
I
a
feel
fork
for
in it. It's done.
I feel.
And, you know, as I say, you know what everybody's saying, now we can finally fire Garrett. It don't matter.
He's not the problem. He's not
I
the
mean,
problem.
I don't think that he is the coach to lead you to a Super Bowl regardless, but it doesn't matter who's coaching as long as Jerry Jones is meddling.
Tell the truth. You could put Belichick in there.
Yeah,
And in the last 2 games, Belichick be like, I'm done.
right. He wouldn't put up with that crap. But until Jerry Jones gets out of the meddling business, you can have the best squad,
Yes, sir.
and you're not going anywhere.
Which you all have. Y'all got on paper, y'all got a powerful squad, man.
But did you watch the game?
Oh, yes,
Dude, the guys aren't even trying. I mean, did you see how many drop balls there were?
They've lost that fire, man.
Yeah.
They've lost it.
They're like, we're done.
We're done.
So anyway, that's all I want to say before we go. We'll be coming back next week with Big Tony, and until next time,
Keep smoking.